We're sitting here with Tampa Prep coach Joe Fenlon, Tampa Catholic coach Don Dziagwa, and North Tampa Christian coach Des Oliver. Fall's in the rearview mirror. What are you guys most excited about coming up here? Practices next week. Starting with you, Joe.
I think I'm most excited about what we're going to look like this year, to be honest with you. Graduated 2 4-year starters, lost another kid to a transfer, so I hope the young kids got enough experience last year to be able to step up. And, you know, at the beginning of the year, it's always exciting because everybody has a chance. And, you know, you hope that all the time and effort the kids have put in the off season are really going to come to fruition at this point.
Same question for you, Don.
Yeah, I agree with what Joe says, and that when the season starts, you're always kind of excited about what might happen and how good the team might be and what might take place in that. I'll be honest with you. I mean, one of the things that we're really excited about this year, that I'm really excited about as I kind of eventually go off into the sunset, so to speak, I'm not going to do this forever, is we're playing in a tournament in Hawaii. Wow. So, I mean, I think that's going to really be a neat trip. I have never been to Hawaii myself. My wife has never been to Hawaii, and I'm sure most of my players have never been to Hawaii. So we're going to go over there. We're playing in a tournament. We're playing 4 games. Actually, we play 1 regular season game on a Wednesday and then a Thursday, Friday, Saturday tournament over there. So we're pretty excited about that. So I joke about I may just stay over in Hawaii and let my son come back and coach the team for the rest of the season. So we'll see what happens in regards to that. But we think that's going to be a really neat thing for high school and for our team. And that obviously basketball is very important, but we always try to do something kind of neat, and we think this is going to be a really neat thing for our players.
It's incredible, the NIL that Tampa Catholic must have.
Unreal. Unreal. I'm still working on raising that money to get us over there, but we do have some nice situations with some players donating and things like that. So that's been good.
Remember, we're on neutral ground here, so
you might be.
Same question for you, Des. Obviously, you guys played a lot of games this fall and got better as you went on.
Yeah. So for me, it's been about just watching the program develop. You know, when I walked in the doors several months ago and decided to not stay in college and coach high school basketball, there wasn't a whole lot left, at North Tampa. And so I was proud that there were some people who wanted to join us and be a part of our program. But the mission for doing this was more about others than it was about myself. The landscape of basketball right now has totally changed. In college now, it's all about getting the bag, right? And as a coach, it bothered me to have those conversations every time you talk to people. It was about getting the bag. As a parent, I'm excited that my young people, my oldest son plays at North Florida, and I have a young son in North Tampa, that they have an opportunity down the road in college, if they're good enough and lucky, to make some money and have a little bit of a nest egg going into real life. Right? I'm excited about it. But as a coach, it got old. And so the thing that was motivational to want to do this as a high school coach was to help develop these young people and help get them prepared for college. Right. And so I'm blessed where I do feel like after 31 years of doing it, I think there's 352 Division I programs. I know somebody at 350 of them. And so if they're good enough, I hope that phone call means something. And maybe those guys can come down and at least take a look at our guys, because it is different. It's a different landscape now. Recruiting is totally different than what it was, just 4 years ago. No one's taking 7 or 8 or 5 or 6 freshmen anymore. They're all transfers. You may take one of them. So it's become very difficult to get to college.
And that was kind of our next question we've been asking coaches. You obviously have a different perspective being a college coach for so long. Post-COVID, the JUCO market and D2s and D3s are riddled with guys that potentially could be like D1 guys. I mean, there's so much talent. What can they do to make it easier at some point in the next few years for a high school kid who's maybe not in the 2, 3, 4% of, talent to actually get recruited by a college coach?
It's difficult. I mean, I don't have the answers. I know what I do is it's a full-time job. Like I'm emailing people. I'm emailing Division IIIs, Division IIs, Division Is. I'm calling all the D1 guys I know. And I'm begging guys to come to our gym and come see us. Now, I do think if you're not a senior, if you're a junior or sophomore, I think AAU is vital finding the right AAU program is really important to be on that stage. And I think the shoe company teams are big because you have to be there where there's 150 Division I coaches watching that one game. It just takes one good game to get you recruited. If you're a point guard, go out there, run a team, and do well for. And then I think our job is in high school is to prepare them. Terminology, style of play, guarding, scouting reports. So now when they get to college as freshmen, they're not lost. I mean, for 31 years, I remember a lot of really good 5-star, 4-star type players would arrive and they wouldn't know anything. They'd be lost as far as, our terminology. And now you're not playing freshmen until they're sophomores or juniors. And nowadays, they're staying 1 year and they're transferring. And so if there's one role that I think we have or that I have for sure is can I develop and prepare for the next level, win a lot of games, while we're here. And we're not there yet at North Tampa, but we're going to get there and have a lot of fun doing it.
And obviously, Don, you've been coaching a while. Can you just kind of take me through, you referred to the last 4 or 5 years, how different and how hard it has been to kind of tread the waters?
Coach Oliver certainly knows a whole heck of a lot about that college game and that in regards to recruiting high school players. And I agree with him totally. It's really tough for high school kids nowadays. I mean, my son was at St. Louis University, and he'd always tell me, he said they'd have a board with the possible recruits, and he says there were no high school guys listed. It was all transfer guys. So that makes it really tough unless you're an elite high school player, and I've been fortunate to have a few of those that have been really elite, so they get recruited in that. But the ones that are really good players and are good enough to play college ball, it really is hard. It's hard. It's almost you sit down, talk to them, and one of the dads said to me, he goes, well, what do you think about a prep school? Give him an extra year, junior college, because if you go to junior college now, it doesn't count towards those 4 years of your college career. But it's really tough because it used to be that the high school guys, it used to be the college coaches would come around and they'd be recruiting the high school guys because you just didn't have all these guys in the portal. And it really has changed the whole mentality. It's really made it tough for high school players who are really good to find that right spot, right place to go to. It's difficult. It makes it tough on us in that regard too. In regards to you tell them, well, you just, we're sending, like you say, you're sending all kinds of information out, and sometimes you just don't get any information back. They're just not interested in your players, and I guess see them in 3 years if they go somewhere and then they want to transfer, and then they find out that they're a pretty good player. So.
Same to you, Joe.
Well, both Des and Don have kind of outlined it pretty well. I think it's been, for about the last 5 years, it's been unbelievably difficult for a high school kid to get an opportunity to land a scholarship. I've been fortunate enough to have a lot, as many of us have, kids who've had that opportunity. And when the transfer portal, kids are going to be unhappy, and that happens at times. I think if the NCAA could limit the amount of times you can transfer, would be beneficial. I think if athletic departments in the NCAA would be a little more patient, college coaches could take the time to develop players and not have to get bigger, stronger, faster kids right now in order to get their next paycheck. And I know that sounds awful, but that's the way it is. If you don't make the NCAA tournament for 2 or 3 years in a row, and you're one of those big schools, you're looking for another job. So you can't fault coaches for that, but the trickle down to what's happened where we are right now is starting to have a bigger effect day in and day out. And Des is right. If you're a kid who is in the right travel ball opportunity, you are going to have a far better chance than someone who wants to stay around and play with their local friends. 15, 20 years ago, everyone wanted to play with their friends. Now it's how am I going to get to the next level? And I also think quite often we lead kids on that there is a next level. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but not every high school kid is going to get a chance to play college basketball. And I think quite often there's a lot of noise around them that creates a scenario that is unattainable. And to me, that's an unfortunate thing. There's nothing wrong with being a good intramural player. There's a hell of a lot of good intramural basketball players in this world. I can remember one of my assistants was at FSU, and Dion was on his intramural team.
Oh, wow.
I think he was okay, but I don't know. I don't have the answers. And these guys said the same thing. We don't have the answers. I mean, we can get you to the gym. We can hope we can get you to the gym. I mean, I used to be able to make phone calls and I could have 5 guys in the gym within a week. Now it's like, who do you have and who might be transferring? And to have to, and you went through it for years, to have to re-recruit your own team, to me, that would be just mind-boggling. But I won't ramble anymore.
I mean, the difference is, though, in college basketball right now it's a pro sport. You can become a millionaire playing college basketball. So everything is different. And so my advice to seniors now is this. It's college coaches, they want older, more mature guys. It doesn't mean you're not going to get there. It just means you might not get there next year. You might need a year of junior college. You might need NAI for a year. They're okay now if you try 4 times because they'll pay you $1 million. Like, I'm watching the NBA. There's so many guys on NBA rosters who I saw play 3, 4, 5 years ago who I thought had no chance on being pros. They just got better. They got bigger, faster, stronger, and now they got a contract. Chris Youngblood played for us at South Florida. He's with OKC. I mean, I thought he was. I didn't know Chris Youngblood would be. He's a dude. He's at 25 points 2 nights ago. And so my advice is, don't let people talk you in. Like sell you false dreams about I'm gonna get you a fake offer. Get better. Play for good coaches. Develop. Learn how to play. Be patient. You have no idea what years 3 and 4 look like in college for you.
2 of the 3 coaches here have not played in the Sunbash. Don is the only one starting last year. Kind of take me through Sunbash. What's been your favorite memory? And then for the other guys, what are you excited about most?
Well, obviously the competition that is in Sunbash is really good. I mean, the 3 games that we got last year were all really, really good games, and I see that you've put us back against Whittemere again this year. So
that's gonna be a good game.
He and I joke all the time. It's like we went out to the thing at the Tavares and we didn't end up playing each other. And he goes that's a shame they didn't put us together. We always run into each other. And lo and behold, you put us matched up against Whittemere again. So. I mean, I think that's the best thing in regards to that. I think you 2 coaches are going to realize that the teams that you face are really good. There's always a really nice crowd, and you'd like to kind of use it as a springboard into kind of that January where you drive towards your district tournament and that. So it really has been good for us. So we've been really happy with it, and that's why we're back again this year.
So back when I was at South Florida. Coach Amir was really big on our staff being visible in the community, watching high school games because no one was doing it. And we felt like if we can get out and see players, we can evaluate and pick the right ones that, like, there's so many kids that they get under-recruited that end up being stars because no one's recruiting and watching them play. So I came down here a couple years ago, and so I'm from the east side of Buffalo, New York. In Buffalo, we had a league called the Randy Smith League. That was a big deal. It was a summer league that was outdoors. It had a DJ, and the atmosphere was unbelievable. The Sunbash reminded me of the Randy Smith League. DJs, playing great music. There's great competition. There's a fan base. And so I remember sitting there watching my son in 8th grade saying, I would love for North Tampa to be a part of this event at some point in time. I don't think that they did last year.
2 years ago they were in it, yeah.
They were, but I'm excited now to be a part of it.
I've been begging Jake to take me for years in this thing, and he just keep denying.
Oh, Jay, you just got burned over there, man.
So, both of these guys said the thing that I would have said too. It's competition. It's gauging where you are at that point in the year. Your kids want to play against the best kids they can play against too. It's not just us as coaches trying to gauge where our team is, but it's kids gauging where they are as well. How much better do I need to be before I get to a district tournament? What can I do to make our team better? And you only know that through competition. You only know that through playing against kids that are as good and better than you are, so that you can see the strides you still have to make, and you still have 3 weeks to get there.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to it. He put me against King Kong and their brother, but that's okay.
Hey, so Jake's a great guy. Jake, in my first year coaching at North Tampa, tried to get us to play against a 30-win team out of North Carolina, of all people, like a Class 6-8 state champion with these young guys. So Jake will take care of you now for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I played one a few years ago, not Jake's, but I got to play Mount Bird 3 years in a row. I said, geez, thanks. This is great. But you know what? That's what it's about. It's about playing the best teams you can play. And so your kids really, when they go off to college, there's going to be someone in the sunbash that's going to be playing somewhere big time.
Yeah.
And it may be someone that you played against, and you're sitting in college going, I played against that kid. There's something to be said for that, for kids. They want to play. They want to scratch that itch too.
Yeah.
So you got to give them an opportunity.
Absolutely. All right.
Well, I appreciate the high praise. That's
right.
all we have for you.
Yeah. No, I mean, we have a great conversation.
Great
there.
roundtable.
A
Appreciate
great
you guys.
roundtable. Thank you, guys. All right. So
Thank you.
Absolutely.
So once again, that was the coach. That was Coach Tampa Catholic coach Don Zwenga, North Tampa Christians coach Des Oliver, and Tampa Prep coach Joe Fenlon. I tell you what, North Tampa Christian. I mean, I hope you guys.